What's up, guys? Welcome back. Malik here, and today I'm gonna show you. It was all losses today, so I wanted to title today's video lot sizes and loss size. So I'm gonna show you how a lot size can equal to a certain amount of loss size by actually showing you the losses that I took today. And today, a bit of it was psychology as well, because I felt very overconfident. So just entering the market today, I was like, yep, I'm gonna have a winning trade. My strategy works. Let me just hit this off. Big size. But that turned out to be 4 times the amount of loss that I would have taken on a normally trading day. So even going into tomorrow, to not assume too much risk and not even lose my account because I can blow my account, I'm going to reduce the risk and ensure that my strategy is working. But today I was seeing that the market was wicking up and down, and that's not very good for my strategy. Like, if it's very range bound, not good for my strategy at all, because it's just gonna come up, hit me out at my stop loss, and then come down into the play. So it was a lot of that today. Let me show you all of the trades. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get into it. Right, so I have my trading view here. You can use the link in my description to sign up for your trading view account, because as you can see, trading view shows you great chart, so you can see basically everything on the chart. To me, even though I might have a loss today, you have to understand that you're not going to always win in the market, and you have to make sure that when you win, it covers for your losses. And that's what I hope to do going forward. Like, that's my plan, and that's what I'm working with. So let's see what we're gonna be starting off with first. Let's start with the Fivers one. So this is the one that I trade on MetaTrader 5. So let me show you. The first trade of the day was at 11:26. That's what they're saying here, but it's not exactly 11:26. Let me move the time and it should be better. And actually, it's much better to view it now because I can leave it on the screen like this. Perfect. So I can leave it on the screen like this. So at 1392.7, let me see. When was today? This was today's chart. Let me actually just put it back to New York. Or is it UTC? Yeah, I'm better off going to New York. So this is the Nasdaq 100. And let's see where my first trade was to the buy side. And that was at 11:31 a.m. So buy side 11:31. I'm thinking it was there at 1392. That's the little discrepancy with this chart. It's just not, the time is just not matching up from what you're seeing here, right? So this is what they're saying that I entered on, but that time doesn't match the time at all. Okay, so matching when I would have entered here, the chart was actually at this point. So let's just remember that at 11 it's actually 8, right? And okay, this works out perfectly because I knew that I was cleared out before the market was even open, destroyed. So let me show you. I entered at 11:38 at 1392.7. And then I got stopped out. Where did I get stopped out? On the next candle at 11:31 at, yes, did I have a tight, yeah. So I entered to the buy side here, and as it started to push down, it just destroyed me at that point. So this is where it kind of cleared me out at my stop loss for a total loss of 51 here. And then the next trade. So what did I do wrong here? Let me see. I entered to the buy side here. I'm gonna just call it part of my strategy. Why? Because it had strong MACD movement. So that's telling me that's why I entered my trade initially, right? Even though I was wrong, it's like the reason behind me entering my trade. And if I'm wrong, let me be wrong. So I entered there. It was actually a big size, but I got hit out fast. I think sometimes when I get hit out fast, I try to chase it and make back the money. So I entered, as you can see, I entered within 30 seconds after that. So let me show you. And that was to the sell side. So I entered to the buy side here, got stopped out there. And then let me use back this one now for this second trade now. So I entered to the sell side at 13,067.6. This is much clearer. So I entered to the sell side as it really started to push down. So you can see why the market is like telling you it's gonna push down. So I entered to the sell side here. Where was my stop loss? Same candle. Same candle. I remember how this candle was forming the other day. It was a nasty candle. It pushed right back up to around the open, maybe even a little bullish before coming back down, right? And what does that mean? What does that mean when I say that it kind of pushed bullish? Let me actually break. So you're looking where the lines are on this chart, right? If I was to bring it down to a smaller time frame, you see how the chart was broken down. So this was the range of that candle, right? From here to here. And as you can see, during that time, when I entered, even though it was at the lowest point of that candle, it actually was pushing up at that point during that amount of time, right? So, man, my apologies there. So when I entered here, right? I entered to the sell side here. On that same candle, it pushed all the way back up and opened here. And these three candles would have made that 15 minutes. So these three candles make up what happened in that candle. So I entered here to the downside, as it seemed like when my entry came in, the market pushed back up here before it closed. Close here. No, it closed here on the 5-minute candle and then push back up here. Close here on the next 5-minute candle and then push back down and close here on this next 5-minute candle. So the market was just very, very whipsaw, I'd say, for my strategy at least, because for me to have my entry here and my stop loss here and the market still came back and cleared my stop loss, that's something it doesn't work well for my strategy. That's what I'd say. And also I'd say I'm a bit too confident, because you can see 0.4, I'm going for a 0.4 size, right? So that means that and this is what I wanted to explain as well. So at 13, let me actually write it here and we can do the math together. So hopefully somebody actually watches this and you see what I'm talking about. So at 13,094.9, you can see that's where I had my stop loss, right? So I entered here to the downside, but this is where my max risk was, right? So let me put it here. Max risk. And then where my entry was what? 13,067.6. So this is where my entry was. And then from there, give me 1 second. All right. So what I was saying here is that if you have a max risk of 3094.9, that's where I have my stop loss and my entry at 13,067.6. When you have a 0.4 lot size on Nasdaq 100, it times your risk by 4, right? So the amount that you minus this from this, you times that by 4, and that's the max amount you can lose on this trade. So I'm actually going to work it out now, and then you can see how it matches up to this, plus your fee or commission paid to the broker, right? So, oh, my apologies. So, this is gonna be equal. Stop doing that. It's gonna be equal to, and we can just do the math here. 13,0, and this is 2. A bit of cognitive decline there, but or just too much AI, huh? 13,067.6. So this puts it at 27.3, right? And then, so that would be the pips that it moves. And then you have a 0.4 lot size here. And this is very important because it can show you how much you're risking per trade and if it even makes sense to enter such a trade, right? For your account size at least. Stop doing that. Okay. So times 4 equals 109.2. And you can work it out for yourself as well and see that 109.2, that's the amount that I lost on this trade. When you times this by 4, you can see how much is my max risk. And I knew that while entering the trade, right? But still, I felt a bit overconfident today, so I was just trading, and as you can see, bigger sizes than what I usually go for. This is double what I usually do. I usually go for 0.2, 0.1. Now I'm hitting 0.4, 0.3. So that's where I think psychology becomes a part of it, because if you're not paying attention to your psychology, you tend to kind of do things that are irrational, and then they end up hurting you in the end. So the next trade, it was entered on that same candle. Now I think I went to the buy side at this point, so I was just flipping and flapping, thinking that as soon as I get this move, it's gonna be a quick come up and move. So it started to push up here. Would you look at what happened next? All right, so sorry about that, something crazy just happened, but you can see that my max risk on this trade was 109.2, and then the pips, if you minus the max risk from the entry, times it by 4, which would be the lot size. And if you have a 0.04 lot size, you times this by 0.4 to actually get your risk, which would have been 10.92, right? For the same move. So I can reduce the risk and just by moving the decimal, and you would move the decimal on the risk to tell how much is your max risk on this trade, right? So the third trade now, and as you can see, I'm still entering with these big position sizes, and the third trade was at 13,099.2, and then I got stopped out, and this is with a little slippage, I suppose, so that's where I'll just let it be. I won't complain about that. And I got stopped out on the 845 candle here at 13,074. Let's bring this over. 13,074.95. So as I entered to the upside here, to the buy side, the next candle actually came down, pushed me right down, hit out my stop loss. And as you can see, I'm just entering 3 trades. I should have been out for the day, right? But then I just felt so confident. I felt like my trades are right, my strategy works. It didn't work today. And on days like today, I mean, it would be best for me to just cut off at the 2 there and stop. Because I mean, your strategy is not going to work all the time, but when it works, it should pay, right? So the final trade now was on the 845 candle, and that was to the sell side. I went 0.3, so the risk would have been times 3 at this point. So as you can see, I'm reducing the risk. I don't want to lose those big amounts like I have been in all the other trades. So I entered to the sell side as it looked like it was going to start pushing down here on this candle, and I got stopped out on the same candle. So you can see I was totally ripped to shreds from the 815 candle to the 9 candle. I was just ripped to shreds at that point there, right? So entered to the sell side there and then got stopped out at 13082.6. So I entered to the sell side here, and I got stopped out there. So I entered at 3130711, and I got stopped out at 13082.6. And that was all for me for today, and that was a max loss of like 290 on the day, which is nasty. I shouldn't be losing so much, and it was my first day trading this account, so it's like a bit of overconfidence. And also, just when the day is this wiki, it's easy for me to get hit out. I mean, on a trade like this, even though I didn't have a bearish engulfing, here still would have got damaged at this point, so I would have been wrong here again. This one could have played. This one would have been a good trade on the day. This trade could have been a good one, because I could have. So this trade could have been a nice reversal trade. Looking at the bearish engulfing pattern, that closed, and then you actually see that the MACD was forming a reversal pattern. Could have entered to the upside. I did not. At this point, as you can see, I was destroyed on this account before the market even opened, because I expected to get a nice clean move to whichever direction, and then that would have set the pace for the day. That didn't work at all. It was a lot of whipsaw in the market open, and that's what destroyed me. I mean, that probably helped when it comes to the other platform, because I'm not allowed to trade it before the market is open. So you can see on this platform, I just went with 2 trades here, right? So the first trade was a $200 loss, right? And that was at 938. So a $200 loss at 938. Okay, so we have to just use this because it's not staying on top right now. So at 930, on the 930 candle, I entered at 319.16. 930 candle, 319.16. So let me remove these old drawings. 930 candle, 319.16. I mean, typically my strategy works very vanilla, but today it just was not one of those days, right? So I entered to the buy side here. You can see it really started to push up. You had weakening on the MACD. So I followed my strategy regardless. So even if I'm wrong, I'm prepared to just pay that price. That's how I look at it. So I entered to the buy side there with 300 shares, and I entered to the sell side, and I got stopped out actually as the market started to push down here. So I entered to the buy side here, had my stop loss there. I was entering with 300 shares at a time. So this move cost me $200. So I really had to say bye-bye to a lot of my money today, and tomorrow I'll be saying hello to somebody else's money. That's what I presume, right? So the next trade now, so I only did 2 trades on this. Like I decided, after taking such a beating in the market open and taking a beating on my first trade here, the next trade I'm not forcing it, right? So I entered to the sell side at 945 and got stopped out at 11. So I entered to the sell side at 945, and that was at 318.18. And then I got stopped out at 10 o'clock actually, on the 10 o'clock candle. That's the next candle over, and that was at 318.56. So this is where I got stopped out on that candle, and today was disgusting. Like, I entered to the sell side here. When this candle opened, it was nasty. When this candle opened, it was just disgusting. Like, I'm telling you. I could show you, because actually on 5 minute. So where was this candle? 945. Dirty. Just pushed down, hit out my stop loss on the previous trade. These trades were disgusting, to be honest. To be honest. But overall today, I'm just gonna charge it to the game. Like, and as well as me being not not disciplined. I would say not disciplined on the day, because this would have been a nice trade on the 5 minute 3 line strike beer here. Take it to the downside. This would have been a nice trade. This trade could have been a nice trade as well with your stop loss. It just depends where you got in. This could have been a nice trade, and this would have been a nice trade. So there are opportunities, but today just didn't play out that well for me, and I'll just accept it for that, for what it is. Really, I'm happy that I could actually show you calculating the risk and the lot size. That's what I wrote up here, so you understand where you want to put your stop loss. Wherever you enter the trade, you subtract them, and then when it comes to your lot size, and this is probably only going to work for US 100 and US 30, but if you have a 0.4 lot size, you times it by 4. That's how you know your risk. If you have a 0.04 lot size, you actually times this by 0.4, and that would get your risk. And then as you go lower, or as you scale it, you can see how you can play around with that to actually tell what's your max risk on this trade, right? So I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Even though it was a loser, full transparency, you see everything that's going on. I'm gonna reduce my risk tomorrow so I can take more of the trades. Once they're working, I can actually scale up the risk again and go from there. All right, see you in tomorrow's video. Bye.